I'm calling this meeting to order at 7:01 PM. Can everybody rise as able to flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is called in pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting is September 8, 2025, was included in the list of meetings notice sent to the Courier News on January 6, 2025, posted on the bulletin board of Borough Hall on that date, and has been continuously posted as required. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on the office. And is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. I'm gonna do the roll call in absence of anybody else to do one. Councilman Arias.
Here.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Here.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Here.
Councilman Levitt.
Here.
Council Vice President Long.
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Here.
And I am here. We obviously glaringly do not have a clerk tonight. Just to put it all on the record. Our clerk's away on a family emergency out of state and left with very short notice. Last week, we hope she's back either Wednesday or Thursday to work. Couldn't come at a worse time because our deputy registrar would sit in for her. One of only 3 full-time staff in the office here was scheduled out on a personal matter that could not be changed, and without all this week and without Thursday and Friday of last week. So I've already gotten calls from Raritan Township where people are like, well, can you get our vital statistics? Can you do our wedding certificates? So with the absence of our registrar last clerk and our deputy registrar, things are kind of falling up. Our attorney, Mr. Pressley, will, I hope, take minutes tonight.
No, Carl does that.
Oh, she's gonna watch the whole video?
Yeah, it makes sound like PC. Because no one's worse at minutes than one watch it.
Okay, I know, alright, did not know that. Okay. There is no presentations tonight. There were some agenda items that didn't get on, so now you had time to read anything, but there's a lot of cross lines over who was sending stuff out, whether Carla was or Chris was. I was not on that list, and consequently, things didn't get out, needed to be read, so the next meeting will probably have more stuff on it. I only have a few things. One was about Carla, for my mayor's report. I also am appointing Maria Shobe to the Shade Tree Commission. I believe the term expires 2027, but I couldn't confirm that with Carla. And I am also appointing Police Commissioner Jeremy Long to the PBA negotiating team. Council members reports, Councilwoman Engelhardt. Sure.
Usually I'm at the end, so I.
No, I go back and forth.
No, I don't remember last, but that's fine, I'm right. Maria's on 23, that's great. She's gonna be a great addition.
She's recommended by former clerk, Mike Luke, so.
Yeah, I can see why. Good, well, welcome. Okay, time for quick items. First, I want to thank my fellow councilman for backing me up at the last meeting when I was absent and supporting the film ordinance introduction at the last meeting. And we'll discuss that. It's on our agenda later, but I do want to make sure I threw out there to thank them for taking care of that, and I look forward to discussing that later on tonight. Second, Adrian and I and the mayor all have a parking committee meeting this week, which is a good reminder to everyone that school is in session. Please drive carefully, be aware of kids on bikes, crossing driveways, crosswalks, intersections. In addition, stop at all school buses. Their lights and their signs are out, must stop. We've had children hit by cars in the past, and it's really a concern. Please make sure everybody sticks to the maximum 25 miles per hour borough-wide, with the exception of state highways. Also, on a related note, I noticed online there was some comments again, bringing up the issue and concern about bikes and skateboards on the sidewalk, why we can't, why we can. And I know we all had this discussion earlier this year, and I just want to, hopefully, I'd like to see us bring that issue up again now that school's in session. It might be another good time to kind of start talking about that again and check in with the police to see, you know, exactly how their initiatives are going since the issue was raised earlier this year, and if there's anything we can do to help. So third, I just want to remind everybody that the 9/11 memorial event for the county is obviously this week on 11. I believe it's at 9:30, 8:30. Sorry, thank you for the correction. So I hope to see everybody who can be there. If you can't be there, please do whatever you can to honor those that we lost in 9/11. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit tonight about the proposed ordinance changes for the DB and DB2 zoning district. I understand at the last meeting that I was absent from, there was a question that was raised regarding the timing of when the ad hoc committee met with the FCP, the Flemington Community Partnership. And I believe I had stated in a previous meeting, but the only time that we met with the FCP was in December 2024, which was actually either the day or the day before the proposed ordinance that the planning board had previously submitted was on the agenda, which is why we had the meeting to begin with. I don't remember that exact date. I know Tony was present. I know Adrian was present remotely. There was members of the FCP board present, and there was a lot of landlords and commercial property owners present. It was a pretty large group. I was definitely impressed and influenced by their passionate arguments, which when we met as a subcommittee for the first time 2 months later, I had that meeting in the forefront of my mind, as well as the borough's master plan, which I was familiar with from serving on planning board previously. The master plan encourages limiting first floor office space in order to encourage other uses. However, the exception of eliminating extensive parking mandates as the previous administration had executed, that's the only kind of realistic implementation that had been made up to that point. I think that the idea of eliminating first floor office space is a really progressive and lofty goal, but it's really challenging to obtain. And the landlords had made it clear at that meeting last December that they would prefer to have commercial uses, but because they can get more money in rent. But they realistically couldn't fill all of their spaces with commercial space. So that experience made me think about things a lot differently, and I'm a huge cheerleader still of our master plan, which does encourage limited first floor use, but it's not mandatory. And at this point, I don't think beggars can be choosers. That being said, I hope that clarifies the question that was raised as far as the timeline goes. You know, we've been working on this, we meaning the ad hoc subcommittee for the council, have been working on this for at least 9 months. And when you add in the time that the planning board put into the initial draft, which was a lot of work, it's been over a year, I believe. You know, we took all that work that the planning board had done and we started there. And I think this is an improved version. And if my fellow council members don't agree, then that vote's gonna happen in a few weeks. I think this revised ordinance provides some flexibility to the landlords to provide higher quality retail spaces, which is something that prospective tenant after tenant has been begging for. It provides the zoning official with some more clarity, which is something that they expressed and reviewed and you know, put in this plan as well. You know, we have people lined up that want to rent and the quality of our inventory is pretty poor. And this ordinance was meant to inspire property owners to invest and fix up their buildings if needed. And provide really high quality space that would attract high quality clients. And I understand there was some concern initially about an idea of raising the allowable height from 40 to 45 feet. That's barely 3 to 4 stories. I can't speak for any other subcommittee members. But when revising this ordinance, I had those two influences in mind. One was that meeting last December. And one was the existing master plan, which actually calls for 4 stories in our DB district. Where our existing ordinance calls for 3. We chose to pull that extra 5 feet out. Because, you know, although it made sense to modify the ordinance and align these 2 documents. It was clear we're not ready for that. And we can discuss it at another time. I would have liked to have had an honest and open discussion with my fellow council members about this and. You know, we had almost 8-9 weeks between the time it was it's introduced to the time that it'll be voted on, which I think there's a lot of time to discuss and review it. But you know, if everybody's not ready for that, then or if we're never ready for it, that's fine. I don't want the good stuff to get lost in the weeds trying to make everything perfect. And I want to improve what we've got and help the zoning official and the existing property owners get a better rate of return by inspiring them to fix up their buildings. You know, I recently spoke to a possible new owner of a new brick and mortar store in town. These are people that want to open a business here, they want to invest here. And frankly, I think that's one of the most important jobs we have as councilman and mayor.
Sorry.
And to be a cheerleader for our town. And encourage people to invest in our town, whether it's a developer or a company or an office. Or some sort of professional service or a small business owner, you know, commercial business owner, that's our job. And to get people to come here and to invest their hard-earned money in our borough, and in this case, our Main Street. I'm hoping that this revised ordinance will give some of these property owners just a bit more wiggle room to be able to provide better quality retail and housing. I hope that answers any questions as far as timeline goes. It's hanging out there. This isn't even on the agenda tonight. It's not even on for another 3 weeks to vote. So I encourage anybody with any questions to contact me directly or read the proposed ordinance to make any suggestions. That's what public comments are for. This ordinance has no time limit. If there's minor improvements that are needed, Chris guides us to adjust those on the fly during the next meeting. If there's major improvements that are needed and it's something this council wants to implement, we can always move it forward or table it again. I want to make sure it's the best it can be without jumping to conclusions, making any assumptions, making any insinuations about sneaky meetings or opening email or making accusations that didn't happen, or insinuating that we're pushing a timeline based on a political campaign, which is just wrong and sad and desperate. So I thank you for your time, and I encourage everybody to take a look at the upcoming ordinance.
Look, this is not a discussion period, it's a comment period. And I was just about to ask you to wrap it up because your comments are really comments that should have been made after the ordinance is finished here, having a public hearing and open for discussion from council members. Please, council members, keep your comments to your reports, what you did during the week and things like that. Not a work session discussion or an ordinance that has now been introduced, is at the planning board for their consistency review, will be coming back. And that's the appropriate time to have a full-blown conversation. If you wanted to have a further conversation about this ordinance, I would have been happy to put this back on the work session.
There was an email that grows, and I was told that I needed to address that at the next meeting. This is the next
I'm
meeting.
sorry, I'm moving on, this is not appropriate
I'm
for
done.
discussion at this point.
I'm done.
Council Vice President Long.
Oh, yeah, I have a few things, I'll try to speed through here.
Fire department, the only thing I have is I will be making a motion to amend the agenda to add a resolution. It's to purchase a vehicle.
You can do that now.
Do it now?
You can on the agenda now.
Alright, then I would like to move to amend the agenda to add a revolution. No revolutions, it's not, I'm sorry, I'm too tired of that. A resolution for the fire department to purchase a 2015 Ford Police Interceptor utility all-wheel drive from the borough of Westchester, Pennsylvania. This is for our deputy fire chief, and I'll have a lot more details, cost, mileage.
Okay.
et
Is
cetera.
there a second to amend the
Liberal second.
agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thanks.
That will be resolution 2025-141, number 11, on item 13, regular agenda.
Alright, so squad news, during the month of August, there were 324 emergency incidents, 76 of which occurred here in Flemington Borough. All told, 277 calls were made the previous year, so that's a 17% increase, so the obviously the squad has been paying attention, they more busy, a lot more going on. A bunch of stuff here, but I'll cut to it because I do have a lot. Just so you know, the volunteer members of the squad contributed 1,250 hours of duty during all of August, with the career staff providing an additional 1,858 hours. This duty crew system allows the rescue squad to staff an ambulance 24 hours a day with 2 or 3 staff ambulances on duty during peak call hours. During August, the rescue squad conducted 2 EMS drills, 3 rescue drills. Squad responded to several serious motor vehicle crashes during the month, including an unusual one on Route 31 on the 29th of August, where a pickup truck somehow ended up suspended in some trees. The squad's newest ambulance, the BLS ambulance, has entered service and is performing as expected pretty well. That squad's dedicated to a rescue squad member, Peter Cerrone, who is suffering from ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease. This recognition is for Pete. It's well deserved, as he was in charge of the fleet care and maintenance for many years at the squad, and served as an EMT, a firefighter, and a rescue technician for over 25 years. OEM news, FEMA's Ready campaign has recognized September as National Preparedness Month since 2004 to encourage Americans to take simple, effective steps toward being prepared. The theme this year is preparedness starts at home. It's a reminder to focus on the basics. Hurricane season is still active through November, and now's the time for residents to review their plan and supplies. Ready.gov highlights 4 key actions. Know your risk, make a family emergency plan, build an emergency supply kit. We're talking 3 days worth of water, medication, food, essentials, a go bag, as it were. Get involved, join local efforts like the CERT team, take first aid or CPR class, explore FEMA's free online training to build skills that can help your neighbors during the emergency. A CERT update, we have 3 borough residents who are in the process of completing volunteer applications to join Flemington CERT. If all goes well, they'll be officially added to the next meeting, bringing the team to 11 active members. This growth will strengthen the ability to support the borough and our public safety partners. Central Jersey Jazz Festival, I don't steal anybody's thunder here, that's going to be taking place on Saturday, September 13th. I'll show, I don't want to take that from anybody, but just so you know, Main Street will be closed from Main Street to Capner from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Residents or businesses within the closure area, who anticipate access issues should contact the Flemington Police Department at 782-3434 before the event, so arrangements can be made. Speaking of the police department, we had in August 39 criminal investigations, and 18 arrests were made for a variety of crime. There was a motor vehicle crash in August. The total of those, though, there were 37 vehicle crashes. Out of these, 1 involved a commercial vehicle, 6 actually reported injuries. Speed enforcement, the department is conducting both stationary and moving radar enforcement on East Main Street. They received several complaints of speeding from residents. In addition, the department's speed trailer was deployed to collect vehicle speed and traffic volume data. I have summaries of all that if anybody wants to see it. I can certainly pass that along. That would be the East Main Street area from August 1st to the 15th. DWI enforcement in August 2025. Police joined law enforcement across New Jersey in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Supported by state grant funding, Officers conducted increased patrols to reduce impaired driving. Residents are reminded to stay alert, designate a sober driver, and report impaired drivers to 911 or to help keep the road safe. Traffic enforcement. Officers have been actively enforcing traffic laws throughout town, as I've been reporting for the past several months, with a particular focus on distracted driving, sign enforcement, and speeding. Roadway safety remains a top priority. If you have a traffic-related concern or complaint, contact the department 908-72-3434, and they really appreciate any community's help here keeping our roads safe. Community policing. On the 14th of August, the police department was honored to welcome community members who visited their station to celebrate Raksa Bandham, and I apologize if I said that incorrectly, a traditional Hindu festival that honors the bond between brothers and sisters, both biological and Slavic. On the 28th, the department partnered with Go Hunterton and Gabby's Pizza to hand out pizza coupons to kids spotted wearing helmets while riding. This fun initiative promoted bicycle safety and encouraged young riders to make safe choices, and good job, kids. Bicycle helmet law. All right, here's the deal. Anyone under 17 is required to wear a properly fitted helmet when riding a bicycle, skateboard, scooter, or roller skates, whether as a rider or passenger. Obviously, helmets greatly reduce the risk of head injury and are very important for keeping kids safe. September 20th, I mentioned this in pretty much every report. They're going to have a mock traffic stop designed for individuals with autism spectrum disorder, as well for the general public. It aims to raise awareness and promote understanding between law enforcement and those with ASD, providing safe and educational environment to navigate potential traffic stop scenarios. Additional details will be shared as the event gets closer, and it is. On September 25th, the department will once again take part in First Responders Night in support of Cub Scout Pack 61. The officers will meet with the scouts, showcase patrol vehicle and display equipment. The event is going to be held at the Raritan Township Municipal Building on October 7th. The police department will participate in Faith in Blue at the Salvation Army. This will be their 4th year participating. There's food, games, and if anybody has any questions for the police officers and you're a kid, they'll have that too. Community outreach opportunity. The department is really pleased to announce the expansion of the community engagement and education program. The initiative designed to strengthen partnerships between law enforcement and residents while promoting neighborhood safety through education, communication, and cooperation. The department is introducing new community engagement and education groups that will give residents an opportunity to voice concerns, learn practical safety tips, and build positive, proactive relationships with local officers. Together, we can create a safer and more connected community. If you're interested in hosting an engagement on your street, reach out to the department and you can go directly to Chief Jerry Rotella. So on August 25th, the chief received a letter of intent to resign from Patrolman Greg Zitko with a scheduled department date subject to change depending on his start date and with his new department. Patrolman Zitko, he's been a valued member of this department since 2017. As you know, he serves as our K-9 officer. He's accepted an offer from the Manville Police Department, and with his departure, I have to report the police will be ceasing operations of the department's K-9 program as they no longer have a qualified K-9 officer. This is a specialized training. You know, these guys have to learn Dutch, and it's costly, and it's a lot, and it's an investment, and we just can't do it right now, unfortunately. But on a positive note, Kita, you would know, is the 7.5-year-old black lab, has been with this department since 2019. She's going to retire. Due to her age, she's going to remain with Patrolman Zitko as a civilian companion. Our younger dog, Elsa, 3-year-old German Shepherd, she was the explosive detection canine. She is going to continue her career in law enforcement. Given the increasing needs for her skills, she's going to be repurposed with a new handler at the Union County Sheriff's Department on October 2nd. They will formally donate her to that agency. Now, donations. You might recall Elsa was a donation, a very generous donation from somebody in the community. And over the years, the community has been incredibly generous in supporting the K-9 program. Stockton Veterinary has provided unlimited care for the dogs, and without their partnership, the program would not have been possible. So once all the K-9 related costs are covered, the chief is requesting that any remaining funds in the K-9 donation account be donated to Stockton Veterinary to continue their work caring for animals in need, honoring the spirit of which the community generously contributed. Chief Rattell is also requesting that the council pass resolutions to 1, approve the retirement of Kita and her transfer to Patrolman Zidco. 2, to approve the donation of Elza to the Union County Sheriff's Department. And 3, to approve the donation to said Stockton Veterinary to support their continued work helping animals. Police station update,
Does that have to be done tonight? Can it be done tonight?
it can be done.
Okay.
He's gotta get that ready anyway.
Okay, he's gonna put together the resolution.
Correct. Construction, the contractor provided the work schedule showing the completion date of November 15th. However, there's still a lot of work to be completed, and I have a schedule that I can share out with any council members or mayor if you want it. Message to the community as new school year begins, as Councilwoman Engelhardt mentioned in her report, slow down, stay alert, watch out for kids, walking, biking to school. School zones are very busy areas where every second counts and speeding can have serious consequences. Finally, the next Lyceum Society lecture will be taking place on Thursday, September 25th at the Reading Fleming Intermediate School. Doors open at 6:30 and the lecture, I'm gonna lead it. It's gonna take place at 7, followed by a moderated Q&A with developers of Courthouse Square and Liberty Village. The lecture's topic, the future of Flemington, envisioning a town we all build together. Really looking forward to this one, as we know where Flemington's been, we know where we are right now, but where do we imagine us going? And that's what we're gonna talk about. October will see the Lyceum move back to the chamber for a lecture entitled The Role of the Arts in Supporting Creative Civic Participation. November will see the Lyceum at the chamber again on the 13th for a lecture entitled Youth and Civic Voice, Are We Listening to the Next Generation? And December 3rd, the final lecture of the series, How a Town Works Inside Flemington's Local Government, will close out the series, and more information about all that will be forthcoming. And that is my report. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rice.
I got a couple things. So first of all, I'm just gonna start off with the HBC. I know they've been trying to do this for many, many years now, from what I've been told. Already, just gonna announce that there have been some revisions from the HBC about the HBC ordinance. It's for them to get the CLG status. And so just wanted to announce that been reviewed by the state and it meets the requirements. CLG status is just for them to be able to apply for grants and get more money from the state, basically. So we're still working with, well, we got all the revisions, basically, I guess all that's left is to make a resolution or for everybody to take a look at it and see. They're okay with it.
Is it a resolution or ordinance?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
And that's all for HBC. We're gonna move other stuff. I got the Bunny House, October 11th from 11:30 to 3 p.m. We're gonna have a pumpkin carving day, so anybody that's interested in carving a pumpkin, come out. We're gonna be out there, have a good time. And lastly, I got the Parks and Rec. So I just have a couple of things there. I've been talking with 2 different groups. One recently, Girl Scout troop leader reached out to me, came up with a really good idea. Having some, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but doing some fairy houses out there where you go on the trail and then you create some fairy houses. Please come out. That'd be a really good idea. And that was I didn't know what they were. I searched it up and I thought it was awesome.
So kind of like probably.
So we're still we met up, we talked about it, and I told him I'm super down for that. So we're ready to do it, but I don't know if we're gonna do it this year or starting next year. But if it's something this year, I'll let you guys know, but we go train out there and I'm gonna make elements major, so not that about it. And basically what a fairy house is just making a little house, little fairies. It's made of I'm sorry?
That's what it's done.
Yeah, stuff that's like you can find in nature, whatever, like stuff that's doesn't disturb the wildlife.
Not like toy houses.
Yeah, no,
no,
This is like genuinely looking.
So that's exciting, and any other information I get from them, because I know they're trying to get, it's more really a Girl Scout thing, they said, but I'm people are open to it, but definitely open to more people, right? And then I also had another talk with, so one day I got a message, his name is Luke. He says he goes around Irving County. I forget what group I didn't know it down, but he works with a group where he goes out and he's very like he likes foraging. So what he does is he likes to grow plants, likes to observe, go on nature walks and talk about, mushrooms, plants, stuff like that. Very, very knowledgeable on all that stuff. I didn't know anything he was talking about. It was really cool. I loved it though. And I met with him and Matt Hand, who is in charge of the community garden as well. They had a really good idea of doing a nature walk and doing a community garden tour there as well. That's on American Park, which I think is really awesome. So we could do a nature walk and at the end, finish it off with the, I guess Matt would, Lou would take care of the nature walk, and then, well, I guess they both could, honestly, they're both very knowledgeable on this stuff. And Matt would talk about the community garden, where they have like little plots of land. And basically explain how, they rent it out for people each year and that they have applications out there for them, so. We already have a date for that, so that's gonna be October 11th at 2 p.m. We're gonna do that, so yeah, we're ready for that. They just gotta get ready for whatever they're gonna talk about. And yeah, that's exciting for that. I did wanna do a movie night there, but was a little hard because of the power. I have to bring out a generator and it's gonna be too much noise for movie and stuff like that. But I was able to work with Norma Cruz. She had a property there. She was very nice enough to let me borrow it. So we got a projector, we got a screen. So October 14th, I believe, we're gonna do I'm sorry, not October, September 14th, just next week actually. We're gonna do I think it's a Sunday.
Yes.
It is.
It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday, so yeah, so we're gonna do that, September 14th.
Our property.
Property, it's a 155 Main Street.
Do you know what the movie is?
Yeah, it's gonna be, Ferdinand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to split the community as well, so. Really cool. I wanted to go to the park, but it was just very, very.
And just to touch on that, Norma has been really, really stellar in loaning her property out.
Yeah.
And it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
She had a festival there a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
which was, it was phenomenal, it was great, and
Really
she funded this all on her own. She asked for no money from anybody. She funded it, she advertised it, she did whatever. And her thing to me was, I want to help the community. I want to get community involved. I want community to feel together. I don't want community to feel separated. So whatever I can do and loan my property out to make that happen, that's what I'll do. I just, I think when she's not getting enough credit, and I also think for you, young man, that you're not getting enough credit for what's going on in Tucker Marine Park, because you have absolutely, that focus has been spot on. You've been there every single week. The things that you've done, you've gotten people involved, you've got outsiders involved to come in to help clean it up. You got your dad involved to help side and clean it up. And I take my hat off to you, because you've single-handedly taken this under your wing and pushed this forward, little by little by little. And it doesn't, you know what? Things don't have to be enormous, they can be little by little by little. So to you and Norma, and I think everybody on this council needs to just reach out to Norma and thank her for what she's trying to do and what she has done.
And just to go.
And I actually attended the event.
Yeah, because she's been really great and I've been wanting to do events, stuff like that, but it's been kind of hard, but she's like the person that's like, yo, let's do it, I'm like, let's do it, and it's a thing where we just get to action kind of thing, it's like, just want to do it.
And as
We want stuff to get done, we want, and we don't ask for nothing, we just want to get involved, have fun, because I live here in Flemington, I'm like, I'll be honest with you. And there's not much for like young adults, young kids to do, and that's something I basically I ran on because it was just something for me that I just wanted to have fun.
And that's what inclusion is
And
about.
it's just like whatever I can do, I don't care if it's all yelling to me. I just want something to get done.
Trent, is it too late to get something in the newsletter's closed and it's already been designed all regarding this October 11th nature walk?
No, it's not too late at all. I was actually gonna talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're also
We can
gonna
get
get
that in
a
there.
flyer done by someone, so.
Honestly, so I was gonna say we need more content for the newsletter, so
Yeah, that's cool.
if you have a flyer.
But we
send
need
it.
it now.
Alright,
Sorry.
I can talk with
We
Lou
need it like fast.
Yeah.
and I can
do you need?
I can get that in there, so. Sure.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Let me
I can give you something. I can give you something for this.
Okay, is that it? Are you
Yeah,
done?
that's all.
Okay.
Thanks.
President Parker.
So I just have a couple of things, so.
the first meeting for the opening of Courthouse Square. Happened on Friday, and it is a combination of FCP and Jack Cuss, publicist. We met for about an hour and a half, and we really, really drilled down to what has happened. This has to be more than just, and I think I talked to you about this, Mike. This is a passion for me, because this is not just a single day event. This is something that's really big. This is a new dynamic to the town. It needs to involve community, it needs to involve businesses, it needs to involve the county, it needs to involve everybody. It's not just one thing. It needs to involve several different things. So there are several different dynamics that are gonna happen, including first introducing the plaza itself, with a video running about how it's all looking, and some of the inside stuff and the whole bit. Then it will be about the hotel, and then it will be about the apartments, and each thing is gonna have its own separate dynamic. And it will run, the goal is to start it in November and go all the way through like February, Valentine's Day, and then pick it back up in the spring, right? So this is all about community, all about bringing everybody together, all about inclusion of all different types of people. It is not owned by anybody. It's getting rid of the minutia and all of that, because we're not gonna deal with anything political or anything like that. We're just gonna get this done. So we're gonna meet again in a couple of weeks. Right now, what we're planning a strategy and an action plan, because you can't do anything without an action plan. So what are the action steps? Who's gonna be responsible for it? And when are the due dates? So that's what's being formed by the two committees. Because this is just too big for FCP, and it's not, and we need to have our hands in it in terms of from the CUS, and the CUS organization wants us to have our hands in it. So I think it's gonna work out really well. As we progress, I will bring more things in, and I will communicate it, and I will share the timelines and the whole bit with the council. I will be reaching out to council to get involved as well, and some specific things that we want council to highlight and council to be responsible for. So again, it's not just one person, it's not just one team, it's everybody. It's community, it's business, it's the county, it is this governing body. So that's where we're going with that. The other thing that I want to address, and I'm gonna kind of defend Susan here a little bit. A comment was made with Susan not being here, and it is only fair that Susan gets to defend that comment, and that's why she made the comments that she's making. So again, listen. I don't care what anybody thinks. I really don't care. You're entitled to your opinion, you're entitled to do this, but you're not allowed to spread vicious rumors. And you're not allowed to say what you think is happening, as opposed to getting what the dynamics of what is happening. So I am going to squash it every single time it happens. It does not need to happen. We're very smart now, we're a very smart governing body, and it's gone from we're not going to pull a Washington DC. We're going to be our own people here. And I'm also tired of hearing well, this might be a political thing. I could give a damn less about any side of the government. I really don't care. We have never once on this team of body talked about Democrat versus Republican. We have never done that, and we never will do that. It's not about us. It's about them. It's about everybody outside of this group. And I'm tired of it. I am sick of it. I'm tired of the pouting and the dot, and numerous emails and dot. It's got to stop, period. So I will allow Susan to have grace on what she said, because she deserves to have the grace, because something was said when she wasn't here, and I am gonna let her defend herself. So that's the first thing. Now, moving on, moving on. The Jazz Festival is an important thing that's gonna happen here because that's welcoming people that have not been here for a while, and it's gonna be on Main Street. And unfortunately, I cannot be here for good reason, but I cannot be here for it. It's the first one I'm ever gonna miss. But I'm gonna ask that the council, please make every effort to be there, to represent, to welcome people. I do think we're gonna get some outside people coming in. I know that the publicist from the Cuss organization is gonna be there so that they can start talking about the apartments and the hotel and things like that. So it would just be nice to back FCP up with just showing up and being a part of it. It's what is it, from 8 to 10, from 6 to 10, 6 to 8 or something like that. So it's not like it's a long thing, but if you guys could do that, it would be great. Finally, I am gonna be, FCP is gonna have their meeting in a couple of weeks. So we are looking at what's gonna happen between now and the end of this year. And hopefully I would like to look at what's gonna happen next year, no matter who's sitting in this spot, but that at least there is a plan going on. And, you know, again, we are going to start meeting again with the business owners, because I think it's important for them to understand what's gonna happen and the dynamics that's gonna happen with all these things that are going on. And by the way, the business owners are absolutely ecstatically excited about the hotel opening. They are ecstatically excited and they want to be a part of it. So I am, you know, I really want us to like pay a lot of attention and let's make sure they're involved. And I would also say that this even expands beyond that and expands to the committees. And in those organizations such as FCP and all of those, HVP and all those organizations, environment a little bit, because I think everybody's gonna end up playing a role in it. Finally, there is an event for the James Beard Foundation. If you guys don't know who the James Beard Foundation is, just to give you some education, I've been a part of James Beard Foundation for years. So James Beard was a chef, very popular chef. Back in the 70s, I think.
50s, 60s, 70s.
And he was friends with Julia Child, another, you know, we all kind of know who Julia Child, another really famous chef called Craig Claiborne, which was also a really good chef. And they would get together on Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays, and they would cook at his house in the village. Well, he died and they decided that they wanted his legacy to live on because James Beard was just a phenomenal cook. So he had a brownstone in the West Village on West 14th Street, as a matter of fact, and they turned that into a foundation. And what that happens is that chefs from around the United States are nominated to go there. So when they're nominated, it's a huge honor. They get to make their own menu. And then you come in and you have to make reservations. You got to be a member to get in. I mean, they will accept other reservations. So they started moving that around the country. So they have things that are outside James Beard house. And so they're having one in Hunterdon County on, we get back on the 14th, the 15th. So it's on this, it's on the 16th. And it's a really big deal. So one of our restaurants, Deserve, is going to be a part of that. There's, how many restaurants are there?
10 chefs.
10 chefs. Deserve is going to be one of those chefs that's going to be represented. So Flemington's going to be represented. I'm really proud of that. And it's going to give us, some momentum in the whole bit. I know there's going to be a lot of the county people there as well, coming in. They're sold out. It's sold out almost immediately, when it happened. So again, it brings some vision and some things to the area. I also have been talking to a potential restaurant that wants to come here, actually two, that wants to come here in Flemington. And they are looking, I'm talking to one of them tomorrow, another one approached me on it. So again, I think things are happening. As a matter of fact, I know things are happening. So this is all exciting, and this is why I don't wanna hear the background noise anymore. I just want us to stay focused on, this is what the town is going to look like in the next year, in the next 2 years, whatever. Just think about it. We're gonna have a totally different conversation next year because the hotel will be done. We have Liberty Village, which is coming on board. Hopefully, we have the other two that are getting ready to start or will be starting. So this is all exciting, and if you go down the street and just talk to your neighbors, I am telling you, they are very, very excited. And here's the other part of the population no one is talking to, are the people who are new into town. And those 499 people or 500 people that are new to this town, they've got a lot to say. So that's my report.
Thank you. Do you happen to have an updated start date for either the hotel or the apartments?
I don't have the exact start date. I don't want to publish that yet. We'll know when we get back. It will be in November.
Or both? Or-
No, we're gonna, I think in my last report, I said we're gonna phase them in. That was my recommendation. The first one's gonna be the plaza itself.
Right.
The next one is going to be the hotel itself, and that's a Marriott property, so Marriott has got to do a couple of things to give the final grant, and then it
One of the
is.
two buildings of the apartments, right?
Right, yeah,
The
it'll be the
second
north,
floor.
it'll be the north side. Mhm.
Okay,
And then the south side will come on, I think, in like 2 months after that or something like that, or 3 months. I can't remember.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Councilwoman, sorry.
Councilman Tribe, do you have a lot to say? In your report?
I don't think
Okay, I'll
that
just,
much.
okay, I'm gonna
Compare
keep
it.
it brief, because it's almost 8 o'clock and
I
we're
know.
still just doing comments and I see somebody. And two people that are sitting out there that would probably like to speak, so, I think key thing is tomorrow evening, planning board. We actually have a 12-page, very dense, overview from James Kyle of Kyle Manners, who we've engaged because from the planning board to look at 2025, 21. So I think that's the key thing there. And then in terms of parking, I have been doing a little bit of speaking with people. More like the Maple area down in Elmwood, and I do know at the last parking meeting, some of my concerns, the concerns of the people I've been speaking with were completely disregarded. So I'm almost thinking of, and I'm starting to get the smart asses going with me to say, hey, maybe we say you can't park a camper on the streets, a big RV. And doing some experiments in town with some of the residents who have the same perception of like, look, it's just, we're too tiny to have large trucks and campers and everything parked all over our streets. I did see tonight that we do have something tonight on this, but my concern is, why are we having something when we don't have anything else? So if you really look into our parking regulations in E360, you'll see we really don't have a lot to say, hey, we need to give an opening here for an emergency vehicle, when the fact is, it's kind of a free for all unless you live over where the mayor lives. And you're trying to keep students from parking there 24/7. So that's it.
Councilman Shred?
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's-
I started it.
I'm writing your first name and I'm just going with it, sorry.
Either one is perfectly fine with
I
me.
don't know.
I don't know if anybody mentioned it, maybe I have the timeline wrong, but Main Street between the Circle and Church Street is smooth, and
Yes.
it's pretty awesome.
Thank
So,
God,
just
yeah.
wanted to note that.
Thank you to our public work.
Yes, absolutely. That's been very exciting. Heard a lot of good feedback about it.
Mhm.
Let's see, there was no Shade Tree meeting this month. Next meeting is Wednesday, the 10th of September in this room at 7 p.m. I'm very excited to hear the news that Ms. Joe will be joining us. I look forward to seeing her Wednesday. Next Environmental Commission meeting, which is usually this evening, will be on Monday, September 15th. The mayor, Kristen Cook, and I are working on the newsletter. It is now bigger and we need more content, like 4 more pages more than what we have right now. So if any council members or any of the departments you guys work with have not sent in articles, or if you guys have anything you would like to add, or flyers or something, please send it to me and Mayor Caro immediately, so that way I can give it to Kristen before she goes away on Thursday. And if I have to finish the newsletter myself, you will notice a precipitous drop in quality on the last 4 pages. And
Yeah, dude.
trying
I get
to
it.
avoid that.
I absolutely get it.
What's the due date?
I mean, the
She's
due date
leaving
to submit
Thursday,
it is,
so-
It came,
are we, no, when are we supposed to submit?
It was
though?
called N.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be, it's
Not for
supposed,
first, not
no,
for
no,
first.
it's supposed to be submitted around
21st,
the
right?
21st
Yeah.
of September, but she's leaving Thursday.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so she
And
can
she
give me
does
the
an
file
Extraordinarily good job.
and I can
You know
I
what?
can put a few words on the page, if you have a flyer, you know, I can make it work,
I'm gonna
but
send you an email, but maybe we can find some stuff.
I got something
Like
I
senior
can send you.
fees.
I can send you something.
everybody's got something, right? I'm not too
But we need it, like,
I think.
by the end of this year,
Yeah.
like,
By the end of this meeting.
she's leaving when, Thursday?
I can Thursday,
She's leaving
That's
Thursday,
right, you
this
know.
is Monday night.
yeah,
right?
we're asking a lot of her.
So we really need it by tomorrow night, I
It'll
would
be-
say tomorrow night.
It will be fine. I will not, I don't think I'll do that bad, of a job, but mostly just,
No, you-
it'll be
You
fine,
you
but
will
you know,
not, yeah.
it'll be a little better.
Right.
I never give anything because I don't have the sexy assignment, so like you'll be fair about this job.
I'll try in the library. I do have a really interesting article that the former,
That would be great.
I
This is
just,
the-
I've gotta find out how to do a byline for a former employee.
We
Because that-
don't usually, we don't attribute the articles to anybody. Yours is the
Okay.
only one that really gets attributed.
Then I'll send you,
I don't think
is that okay, Chris, to like, a former employee wrote a very interesting article about something that happened at the library.
we can do it.
And, you know, we put his own byline on it, but he's no longer with us. Can I just, can we put it in there without?
The articles are for which publication?
Huh?
The articles.
Our newsletter.
Our public newsletter.
It's a word.
You wrote it for your publication.
He wrote it for our newsletter when he was here, and we didn't have enough space and it didn't make it.
Don't put it in, but
You're gonna-
why do you want to put a byline?
Cause he's no longer employed, I don't know how to put, I don't know what's right.
We don't typically put bylines, and I mean,
As
like,
long as you have it in writing, that you can use it.
I mean, it was a work product of his time as an
Yeah,
employee,
yeah,
but
I
library, I think that's fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
work product, I mean, I can, you know what, I'll send it to Trent, and I'll copy you. And you can see how he wrote to me saying, here it is.
Sure.
And then I wrote to him and I said, we didn't have room. And then he wrote, well, hopefully we get it in the future. So that's, it's rather long and I think it's got some pictures with it, so it might take up 2 pages.
As long as they're public domain and there's something we can.
There are.
Okay.
I believe, their own, or their historical society, which is.
We'll look it up.
Okay,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
all right.
Let's see. Sunday, I had the privilege of attending the Islamic Center of Hunterdon County's open house. And I got to meet some great people, had some good food, and the mosque was quite beautiful, and I just want to publicly thank them for the opportunity and the invitation. Chris, I did have one question
Sure.
about the actual ordinance. I sent you what I believe is an actual minor change, the zoning ordinance. I think there was an actual minor change. Was that? How do we go about?
When it comes up for final reading,
Okay.
yeah. You and I discussed the trend, the change I can use more than everything if you read.
That includes the one at the building department recommend. It's probably same thing.
No,
No.
no,
I think that would be
no,
an
let's
actual
not
change.
mention,
It's fine.
Well, that was minor too,
Yeah.
that's what you said.
Yeah, we have to change that one later, I think, yeah. That's conversation you and I had that separately,
Yeah.
so. But the one that Trent emailed me is just minor change, that is true.
yeah, it's very minor.
I got 2 final things. I just want to note that I attended last week's county commissioner meeting. And they brought up the RFP for the warming shelter services.
Hmm.
I believe the county's assertion that the way these individuals are counted during the point of time counts was. The assertion that it would substantially impact their funding is incorrect. And even if it did, I don't think it matters. It is my understanding that the people at the warming center have always been counted as sheltered rather than unsheltered. And that prohibiting cots and beds in their RFP to ensure that they are not counted as sheltered is cruel, inhumane, and most importantly, unnecessary, as it would not result in a substantial difference in the count. I strongly urge the county to revisit their RFP and allow people utilizing the shelter the ability to lay down. For the sake of time, I will leave it at that. And lastly, did everybody here on council get the ability to read Mr. Novick's resolution?
No, it's good.
No,
I
You
don't
all
know
just
that.
got it. So never mind then.
We all-
That is the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you're talking about school, just find out where you. Okay, All right, we are at public comment session number 1. Anybody from the public wishing to be heard, please come up to the microphone, you get 3 minutes and go ahead. Do I need your name and address?
Joseph Novick, 11 East Main Street. I want to thank the council for considering this. This is, you read the bullet points here, you do have the resolution. Apparently, the Supreme Court now believes that brown skin makes one suspect officially by the federal government. Speaking with a Spanish accent makes one suspect a suspect officially, or working a job that is often held by someone who is Latino officially. Those 3 things are stated in the Supreme Court decision that came down today 6-3. Basically, what it says is this follows in the same racist tradition as the American citizens of Japanese ancestry were put in internment camps in violation of the civil liberties. Just a brief background on this, the Supreme Court today ruled in Nolan versus Perdomo, allowing ICE to resume enforcement practices in LA. The decision permits stopping and questioning individuals based primarily on their racial appearance, language, location, skin color, which is completely against every principle of justice and freedom in the United States is founded on. And ICE can target people who appear Latino, have brown skin, speak with Spanish accent, or are present at these labor sites. I wrote this resolution this afternoon, and I included, again, these are the bullet points. We strongly oppose this decision as it constitutes racial profiling. These practices violate constitutional equal protection rights. Such enforcement creates fear in the immigrant community and damages police community relations. Racial profiling compromises public safety by discouraging crime reporting and witness cooperation. What this resolution does is formally condemn the Supreme Court decision on racial profiling and affirms Flemington's commitment to protecting the civil rights of all citizens regarding an immigrant status, race, or status of being an American citizen. So the bottom line is that I would love to see Flemington pass this evening. Obviously, you've just gotten this now. I've emailed this to most of you, so if you want to make edits or changes, certainly you may do that. But I think this is an extraordinarily important time to do this, and it would really mean something if Flemington acted on this tonight, swiftly and very affirmatively. And it is a very powerful statement if we do that. This Supreme Court decision is going to really rock municipalities all over the country. It's starting in California. It's going to be here in New Jersey very soon. If you think ICE coming into the community now is very dangerous, then the Supreme Court allows them to take people who have brown skin, whether you're a citizen or not, and interrogate them and hold them. That is just not the country that I was born into, and it's not the country that I fought on. I have been on the board of the ACLU for 20 years, and I have never in all of my time seen anything like this. So I give you this resolution. I wrote that myself, putting a lot of time into that after reading the entire Supreme Court decision. So if there are any questions anybody has, I certainly am available to answer them.
Great, thank you. We have it. If you could email to me, so I can get.
I will.
The Word documents or.
I will email it as a Word document.
Do track changes if he needs to.
Yeah, so if you want to change anything, you need to certainly do that, but I will email that to you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
Thank you. All right, anybody else in the public coming up? I need your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Mike Udy from 24 Central Station. I don't have one single complaint tonight. I just wanted to say something about the library. You know, we're big fans of the library, and there has been some change over there recently. And I just wanted to say something about Heidi Hesch. She has been just the most compassionate,
Yes, she has. She looks wonderful.
considerate,
Thank you.
community-driven person. And this is a story about Heidi you might not know. A couple of years ago, the county system had stopped carrying DVDs. And there were a number of residents in Flemington whose income didn't allow them to have access to a streaming service. And she felt bad for these, and she reached out to us and she said, is there anything you can do? These people rely on DVDs. So we were able to send them over 100 DVDs, but she did that out of her own volition, you know, that was completely her own initiative. And she's just, you know, she's just so community driven, and she looks at everyone who comes into that library as like family. And I just wanted to, you know, now that she's the, you know, the interim director, and I'm not sure, you know, what's going on with everything, but I just wanted to say how great she is and just how great the Flemington Library in general is. It's just such a welcoming place, and it's just such a great resource for the town. And
Mike,
that's it.
thank you. I've been, since she's been in charge, I have had people stopping me on the street to tell me how wonderful she is. So it's just so nice that you actually came to a public meeting to share that with everybody.
She's great in
No, I
the
think-
library.
It
All right.
is.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
You're great.
I have just, Mayor,
Yes,
one more thing I just want to say again. Joey Robic, Lebanese Main Street, I want to just definitely reiterate the wonderful job that the borough did in paving from Church to the circle of Main Street. I have driven down that so many times as I work out, and at the gym, I want to get in and I work at the gym. No, and I go down to the circle and go there every time. It just, you know, was crazy. And I think for the entrance to the borough that most people come in is from that circle. And that road was just a terrible welcome to anybody who wants to come in here. As soon as they come in, they immediately have a poor opinion of Flemington because their car is jumping up and down. And now it's just absolutely wonderful. So I want to thank the borough, thank the mayor, and especially the workers of Flemington Borough. So thanks.
thank you.
And my Prius thanks you also.
And Dolce's is already asking me when it's their turn. They want to look this, you know, for now, so. Okay, approval of minutes, is that we online, right? No. Okay, approval of minutes. We have regular session, July 21st, 2025. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Is there a second?
Liberal second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Executive session, July 21st, 2025. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Is there a second?
Perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
These minutes are correct. The next one's regular session, August, or I'm sorry, the agenda, actually August 11th, 2025. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Is there a second?
Perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
Thank you.
abstain.
No.
You're abstaining, Susan?
Yeah, I wasn't here.
Yes. Okay. Bill, all right, consent agenda, we only have one thing on there, resolution 2025, 134, resolution awarding contract for animal control services with Animal Control Solutions, same company we've been using. We've had like no complaints. I think they're keeping the cost the same. Carla did send out that contract to everybody to take a look. Can I have a motion, please?
Long move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Just a quick question, what is the animal control services company that we use? There's at one point I heard that they were putting animals to sleep or something, that's not the case,
I
right?
had never heard that.
No.
That was another company putting up rumors,
Okay.
I believe.
No, so, okay, so,
That was
okay,
that
so I just want to,
transition to the new one, that was the accusation.
okay, thank you.
Like the rabbit, I would hope they'd put rabbit down in the shower. Okay, roll, Chris, can you do the roll call for me? All right, I'll do the roll call, Chris. I
If you want to do.
like to do the roll call.
I can do that, my mayor just gotta give me your form. So,
You just have to
Might be
take it.
easier
I
for
don't,
you.
I mean, it's just the list, so I'm just gonna do it. Councilman Rice,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Councilman Long,
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Thank you, sorry for the pain. Introduction of ordinance, we have ordinance. This has been tabled because it did not get mailed out to everybody in time by anybody. Again, because everything's going like this. So changes were made regarding I believe council president's comments, so the new ordinance that you will be getting, I assume soon. Now, because it's done, allows for both construction or clean out to get a permit, a dumpster permit for 30 days through the police department. With a 30-day extension, and then after that, it's a $50 fine, registration through the owner of the property. And there's no charge for the permits. We have two public hearings, ordinance 2025-20-22, an ordinance amending chapter 34, filming of the borough's municipal code to conform to the New Jersey Film Commission guidelines. Do I have a motion to open up to the public?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there a
Parker,
second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ordinance is now open to the public. Anybody wishing to speak on this, either come up to the microphone or raise your hand if you're online. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing to the public?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there a
Parker,
second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-22? Is
Engelhardt will move.
there a second?
Hold on a second.
Discussion? Hearing none, can I, roll call. Roll call is, Councilman Arias,
Oh, yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pissarro,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Action, I mean, yes, sorry.
Wait all night for that.
Council President Parker,
Yes.
thank you.
Can I just mention very quickly, that, this was a joint effort, I wanna make sure we thank the tourism service, is a joint effort.
The film?
Yes, there's a joint effort between Flemington, Frenchtown, Lambertville and Clintontown. And the county has chosen Flemington to have their announcement of this event. This accomplishment in late October. They do have a date, but it's not confirmed, so I don't wanna actually say the date out loud until I'm sure. But I will make sure that the date is announced when we are sure.
Very nice, thank you.
Can I ask you one last question? Are we now film ready?
No,
No.
this is the last step. We need to become film ready. The ordinance now has to be printed. When Carla gets back, I will make sure that gets sent to the right people. It gets sent to the New Jersey State Film Commission. The State Film Commission then looks at our application, which was prepared by the county tourism, economic development and tourism group, and then hopefully will
So we will-
approve us.
Likely be deemed.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
Likely be.
They will be, we're going through a process right now.
Yeah.
Like every town went through this process, we're the last ones to adopt the process, so.
Yeah,
Once
it's
that's
just a
done.
matter of
it's done.
Frenchtown's council meeting was last week, they did it, we're doing it tonight, we just did the order of what we did it. More importantly, and this is for the FCP and the local businesses. What this does is Film Ready grant program, and Marcia and I actually attended a conference or whatever at the league last year. What this does, it now allows us to take all our information from our local businesses and insert them into a database. And when film production companies are in the area, they can say, oh, I need catering services. I need to find an antique watch and, where can I find that in town? I need to find a tailor, where can I find that in town? All these local businesses will be in their database and they can pull from them, in addition to an entire database of images of our public buildings, our streetscapes, and even private buildings. If people are interested in, lending out their home, you actually get compensated usually by the film production. That has nothing to do with us. You can even have private homes listed in this database if you want.
So it
We'll
is
be
all.
rolling that information out once we become film ready.
Right, so a scout comes through, the way this works, because actually our house was actually scouted to be in a movie. The way it happens is a scout comes through, they scout the house, they look, they bring the director down, they look at a little bit, and then they look at the town to see if all the services they need is available to them. So like there's a Lowe's, there's coffee shops, there's a place for them to eat, that's what they look at. Is there a place for them to stay? They look at all of those dynamics, that's what it does. And so we will be ready for that. So the answer is yes, we will be ready for that. We're just the last ones to get
The last,
to jump in. Yeah.
Anything else, Councilwoman?
No, but I do wanna mention that Mike Campion, I don't know, that, I just wanna piggyback on what was said about the Main Street. Mike Campion calls the gentleman that paved Black Ice Jimmy. Apparently, he makes things smooth as ice, and that's his nickname. I thought you
Nice.
would enjoy that.
That's nice.
This is a
Yeah.
nice road.
I got a kick out of it.
Nice road.
Yeah.
Okay, second public hearing ordinance 2025-24. In order to creating a new section 7-20 emergency services exception to chapter 7 traffic of the Borough Code to exempt emergency services from certain parking restrictions. What this does for the public is we did pass an ordinance weight restricting Court Street after an unfortunate incident with a rather very large Costco delivery truck. Even though emergency vehicles are exempt from almost everything, just out of logic, this makes it very clear that our fire department is exempt from the weight restriction. So can I have a motion to open ordinance 2025-22 to the public? Is there a second?
Liberal second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're gonna say the Councilman Trent made that second, yeah, Carlos there.
That's true.
I wanted to do that to you tonight, I'm sorry. Leva did that tonight, for fun sake. All right, the ordinance is now open to the public for comment. Anybody wishing to make any comments? Need to come up to the microphone or raise your hand if you're online. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing to the public? Is there a second?
Liberal second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-22? Is there a second?
Liberal second.
Any discussion? I'm sorry, that was 24, not 25.
24, yeah.
Yes. All right, roll call, Marcia, the roll call. It's like, fun stuff, okay, Councilman Arias?
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro?
Yes.
Councilman Levitt?
Yes.
Councilman Long?
Yes.
Council President Parker?
Yes.
All right, that was ordinance 2025-24 passes, thank you. On the regular agenda, resolution 2025-135, a resolution to fix the rate of compensation of the mayor, council, and non-union employees of the Borough of Flemington, County of Hunterdon, State of New Jersey. This is done every year, which is known as the salary ordinance. And it's really mostly being done because of the next resolution on the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Liberal second.
Any discussion?
No more Comic Sans and recipe for that's it.
Right, all right, roll call, Councilman Arias.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Yes.
Councilman Levitt.
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-136, resolution appointing John Tillotson as the zoning official. Councilman, can I have a motion, please?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there a second?
Parker second.
Roll call, Councilman Arias.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Yes.
Councilman Levitt.
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-137, a resolution by the Borough of Flemington authorizing approval to submit an award. That's a typo, submit an award extension request for LA 2024 MA Flemington Borough Garden Lane, Main Street, North Main Street 10 to the New Jersey Department of Transportation. This is the Main Street money we were given by the DOT municipal grant fund. And we are working on getting the money to do the sewer water lines at the same time. So this is waiting to not just do the road until we can do the infrastructure like we did with Main Street. So we never have to do it again, at least not in our lifetimes. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Engelhardt will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Councilman Arias.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Yes.
Councilman Levitt.
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
You. Resolution 2025-138, resolution of the Borough of Flemington rescinding resolutions adopted August 11, 2025, relating to the creation, award, and issuance of new plenary retail consumption license with motel exception. I am gonna do my best to understand and explain this the way Carla explained it to me,
If you can, I can help you.
which, thank you, which the ABC and Trenton had to explain to her. These hotel exception licenses do not follow the normal rules, which is what clerks learn in 40-144 of state code. Carla had never done one of these before, and so basically, we are rescinding everything that you all did at the last meeting where you created a license and awarded a license and awarded another part of that license, because it has to be done in pieces at different meetings. So that's, did I get that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly,
Thank
right.
you, Council
That's
President.
exactly right.
So can I have a motion
Which
for,
they didn't tell her before this all went through.
who's
First
with
time.
they?
Maybe.
The ABC.
The ABC didn't tell me. Yeah, no, this is, Carla called me about this and she's like, did you know this? And I'm like, it is not in chapter 144. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it was new to her, new to me.
And it's because we are a historic, because it has to do with the.
With the historic district.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a motion please for resolution 2025-138? Is there a second?
Parker second.
Okay, roll call. Councilman Rice.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Yes.
Councilman Levitt.
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And now
The
we're
next
gonna
one is
do the
even better.
first, now we're gonna do the first step.
Right.
Resolution 2025-139, resolution of the Borough of Flemington declaring its intent to issue a new plenary retail consumption license with hotel motel type 36 pursuant to NJSA 33:1-12-20 and 19.1 and 19-2. So this is step one. We're just gonna send out our intent. So stay tuned for parts 2 and 3 in future meetings. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Parker second.
Long moved?
Yeah, long.
Thank you.
Parker second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, Councilman Arias.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Yes.
Councilman Levitt.
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-140, resolution approving the hiring of Daniel Van Vossen as a DPW employee. I know that the DPW interviewed at least 6 people. I've
Six
written
at least.
At
Yes.
least 6, right?
Yeah.
Might have been 8.
Yeah.
Um, and from the moment they interviewed Van Vossen, he went to the very top, so.
We had 8 apps, I think, and 8.
One person from Chicago.
Mhm.
Can I have a motion, please?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there a second?
One second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, again. Councilman Arias.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro.
Yes.
Councilman Levitt.
Yes.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Councilman Parker.
Yes.
Thank you. And add to the agenda resolution 2025-141 to purchase a used police vehicle for the deputy fire chief. If you want to make Mike Bill Hans, please, a panelist, so he can answer anybody's questions. So go ahead, Councilman Long, regarding this issue.
Sure, so as you know, folks, we have purchased vehicles for our departments. And oftentimes we have to, replace things, upgrade things, et cetera, and so forth. The fire chief had requested an additional vehicle for the deputy chief. And we had some back and forth conversations, me getting all the details, so I wanted to share a lot of this and make sure that I have it all clear. Obviously, Bill, anything that I mess up or forget about, he can certainly help, but I'll do my best here with that. So basically, they had asked for this. And the police department, usually we'll kind of take old stuff, all right, and it's kind of a no-brainer, and just move things around departments here. So what happened was the squad actually somehow got intel that there was an SUV. You may recall a few months ago we did that. They used that for a training purpose, so that was gone. It may have been suitable. It's hard for me to tell. I'm not a mechanic, but we kind of lost out on that. So basically, given the fact that we have some fairly one brand spanking new ladder truck, and a newer squad truck we got from Stockton, as you will recall. Maintenance is a huge cost, so they're saving a lot, and their budget, and this comes from Bill as well, he confirmed it. The fire department is certain, it's within the budget. The only reason we have to vote on this is because it's over the quote threshold. But we can true it up by passing the resolution. They can buy this car for the deputy chief, and I'm sure the questions will come up. I did ask the fire chief and Bill, talk to me about insurance costs. It's minimal. Your only concern is if you buy like these big trucks. Those are the things that cost a lot of money to insure. So it just becomes another part of the fleet. It is a 2015, it's about 10 years old. It has 45,310 miles on it. So it's always nice when you have something that's sub 100K. It's gonna be $8,350, and this is was a Ford Explorer Police Interceptor, which, like I said in the beginning, was used out in PA. The deputy chief lives within a mile of the borough. Apparently works at home. This is not a car that's gonna get a massive amount of usage on it. So as we see, we're our rescue squad cars moving at fast speeds, taking a lot of, just a lot. It's a lot for cars like that. But this one is just seems to be just a method of travel, so that the deputy chief can go where he needs to be.
But doesn't he have to come here to get out?
That's the same question.
And Bill's concern is that we have a higher than normal percentage of cars that go home with people at night.
That's my other.
You
That's
asked
my
me.
question. No, but you're taking the questions right out. of my mouth,
So
Because that would be a concern. as
1
well.
square mile and he's a mile away and he has to come here anyway to jump into his fire gear. Why can't it live here?
I agree. That's a good question.
Well,
Why can't it?
and I'd like to add, and I don't know if this is a possibility, but right now OEM and the construction department and Carla are essentially sharing the same car. It is OEM's car, and then OEM tries to lend it out when available to the
Well, Dave's
zoning
putting out
guy
money,
and there's like
Mine's a big
multiple
impact.
people there. So I guess my question is this a vehicle that could be also help to alleviate that?
Right,
That
so
truck?
Tillotson is using a car from 6:30 to 9:30 when he needs it.
Yeah,
And then Dave Giuliani uses that car when he's here. And then OEM uses it if there's an emergency, but it's OEM's car.
right.
But how many cars do we actually
Wait,
have?
Bill, can you give us a rundown on how many cars we
Yeah.
have? And how many go home? And which departments, like, what's normal, like you, also work for other municipalities that have far more employees, what percentages are normal?
I mean, usually it's only the emergency services, like the police chief and I would assume the fire chief, that take vehicles home.
The OEM coordinator, I think, also takes them home in most municipalities.
I mean, yeah, I know most municipalities, it's not a full-time position.
That's
So,
true.
I know of 3 other municipalities that they don't, but that's, they get paid minimal and they're probably there 3 hours a week or something.
So it's generally
So
the
it's
chief
3?
and it's generally the chief and the captain.
Fire, right.
Wait, the chief, so you're talking about fire department only.
No, I'm talking about the police chief and the fire chief usually
Chief,
are the ones.
Fire chief and the police chief are generally only, in your experience, who take cars home.
Yeah, and sometimes, I don't know, lieutenants or whatever, it's usually the upper staff of the police department. That would be the
You're talking about the
ones
lieutenant,
taking. Correct.
the detective, yes.
The detective should be able to take her car.
I know the captain in Middlesex Borough where I retired from, he lived in Raritan Township and he drove his own car to Middlesex Borough.
But I'm
He
just,
was a captain.
but what I'm trying to understand, and this is a really good conversation, because what I'm trying to understand, when you said 3, I mean, I hear the 2.
I mentioned the OEM coordinator because he's full-time.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned it.
Okay,
He
okay.
said, no,
So-
usually.
Okay, so there's really just 2 that really typically take the car home, but when you say, when you're saying the lieutenants and all those people, that's not typical, because.
No, I mean, I know other towns that, yes, they do. It really varies depending on the town. I think we have probably, I'm guessing about 8 or 9 total that go home.
Really? So wait, so I, like, who else takes home cars?
Well, the DPW manager, water and sewer superintendents.
Right. They come in,
Um,
they come in all hours of the night,
That makes sense.
okay?
the police chief, OEM, the fire marshal,
Six.
and I would
Why
assume
does
the
the fire-
fire.
Why does the fire marshal take home a car?
I guess that's what he was approved to do when he got hired. I don't know.
Okay,
Well,
okay, so you used the fire marshal, and who else?
Um, fire marshal and who was the last one? What I say? The police. Oh, the fire chief.
So that's seven.
Yeah, and I guess the fire chief said that in the past. The deputy chief had one, which I didn't know, but I guess that's another one right there.
when did the deputy chief ever have one?
He said it's been the case. I don't know.
I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with getting one, but I have a problem with always going home. I mean, we're 1 square mile, right? To come to work, like, if there's a fire in town, Ken McCormick has to come to town anyway. Right? I mean, unless it's in his hiring resolution, I mean, like, all of that, it's like, they all have to come here anyway. If there's an investigation, the lieutenants have to come to town anyway, and we're 1 square mile. I don't understand, I just don't understand.
One of the issues.
We're not the county where you're driving, 40 miles around a county if, where you're. But
From what I understand, as far as the construction departments go with the electrical and plumbing and construction official. One of the problems is that because we're so small, they go out and back and then they bill a mile, on their, if they use their own car for their own expenses, so to have a car here. So that Carla can go to the printer or the construction guy can go a half mile up the road and back. That's what they're supposed to be
Right.
here for.
Right.
But right now, we are basically saying thank you OEM for sharing that when we can, and they're still using their own cars because they have to defer to.
Well, I mean, like I
To
said,
Brian, right? Is that one of the
construction
problems?
was putting in 4 mileage, and I talked to Brian, and Brian said, we'll make it work. I mean, construction's here from 6:30 to 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, no, it's
occasionally on
been great, I
Saturday.
appreciate it.
Yeah, so there's no reason there. I mean, I hear what you're saying, the fire and whatever, because we do have, but we have how many OEM cars are sitting there?
You have the Explorer that's there that Dave and John use,
Yep,
and then you have the CERT car, which is a very old Crown Victoria that we basically just roll out for road closures and stuff. It's,
is it not road safe?
I mean, it's,
I mean, for
It's-
the plumbing inspector and those guys.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wanna drive it around every day. I mean, it's enough to carry cones around and go sit out, turn the lights on and.
What does anybody? Councilman Malone, do you know what's happening to Elsa's brand new car that we got also as a donation? That's going with Elsa,
Staying as.
it's staying here as a police vehicle.
Yeah, it's gonna go back into the rotation.
Okay,
So we do have there is a police car that the chief is putting out of service, the brake lines went on it.
I just wanna go back, maybe I lost something in the conversation. This person, this car is for whom?
The deputy fire chief.
So the fire chief has a car, and now we're saying the deputy fire chief has to have a car. And is, going back to Marcia's point, is that car here or is that car taken?
That would be coming home.
I don't get
I
it.
think that's where the issue is,
I
that
don't
we
get
have other
you.
people that can share it.
I think I'm wrong. On this one, I'm struggling on
I think that we might need the car, I just think we need to try to share it amongst.
But it gets all paid out, the.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it really kind of has to because
I
of
see.
emergency services.
But the
So,
point of it is it emergency services here, or is it emergency services from?
Well, is the
That's
car,
what-
this in their, I got the impression this was in their budget,
The
no.
money,
the money's there in their allocation,
that they
For
can
operating
use
expenses,
it how they
but
want.
they did not ask for it as part of their budget.
it wasn't.
It's a new acquisition.
Okay,
That we did
So-
not
So
know
we didn't
about.
budget for it.
Correct.
That's the point.
but it's in their overall, they
No,
have
I
the,
hear what you're
yeah.
saying, I'm just trying to say.
yeah,
too,
you
that
guys,
we have
nobody
budget
knew
for it.
about this.
They didn't identify it
Not
in
asked
their
for it in the budget to have
We
a
would-
discussion
we would have
during
called
the
that.
budget.
We would have
Right,
called
so they are, so essentially what they're doing is they're putting
Yeah, that's-
something else aside that they had planned for in their budget. And saying this is what they
I don't-
want.
They're not putting anything aside, they just have been able
No, and
have as much
I don't wanna put words in Bill's mouth,
Oh,
but
I
Bill said, when I asked him about this. Bill said it might be better because they generally spend everything in their budget by the end of the year. And Bill said it might be better to wait until December to buy a vehicle, but they had already gone out onto an auction site and purchased this vehicle unbeknownst to.
Oh, they already purchased,
Well, they made a bid, but they don't have an authorization to buy it because it's out of.
but they've already started the process.
They did the process, but they can't buy it because it's
Oh.
over the allowance by New Jersey state law.
God. Alright.
Again, unbeknownst to any of us, so, to me, like, so here's the issue, right?
You guys.
You
know-
got a shiny red car that says deputy fire chief on it. That is important, like, if they're gonna get a vehicle, it's gotta be identified as an emergency vehicle. Which makes it hard for anybody else to use, right? However, having said that. Firemen must come here to get into their firepersons, full firemen's
Yeah.
clothes here to the firehouse. All their gear is here. And they come here and they put it on.
So why are they
Go ahead,
taking the car home
correct me
then?
if I'm wrong.
Yeah, just if I may, so generally the chief and the fire chief, they're responding directly to the scene to begin giving scene updates to allow for the emergency for the first initial engine coming in,
They
giving
don't come
hydrant
here.
If
location.
they're not
Giving
here,
they would keep their gear in their car. So
Okay.
generally a chief and fire chief have an air pack in the
That's why
car,
it would go.
plus their turnout gear. They're immediately getting on scene, establishing command, giving updates as to what they need, the additional resources, potentially striking additional box alarm or more resources. So generally,
So they're not coming here at all?
no, they would be going directly to the scene to start those scene size ups. And or provide emergency life-saving, a lot of times. They'll be one of the first ones on the door with us as the police department to go in to have to get a victim out because they have that ability to respond directly from home with the vehicle there. And it's pretty common around Hunterdon County to have a chief and a deputy chief because they are volunteers, right? The chief isn't always available, so the deputy chief
So
has a
the deputy would
secondary
have to
vehicle
be-
to get to that scene.
got
And
They would
it
have
generally
to be
needs to
equipment
be
in
a reliable vehicle, right? It's a response vehicle. So it's gonna have radios in it, it's gonna have fire extinguisher, it's gonna have an air pack, it's gonna have all of his turnout gear. So if you're gonna do it to have it here,
Doesn't make
pointless, right? Because he still has to then use his blue lights in his personal
Because
vehicle
nobody pays attention
to try to get here without a siren,
Yeah.
to then get in the vehicle. So, that's really the key, right?
do we do,
Understood.
Bill, I don't know if this might be a question for you. All these people who have our cars and drive them, do we? At the request of our insurance company, get their driver's licenses
Yes.
and make sure that they're all valid? We do,
Yes.
you
Once
do
a year.
it, okay.
I do it once a year for the insurance company with Carla.
Okay, so this is a separate discussion than we need a general car here, a nice used vehicle for Carla and
Pool.
plumber and all those other people, pool vehicle.
It would have been nice to have been asked this.
I certainly would.
I mean,
I'm laughing, it's like,
assuming
wow.
that if they were obviously very diligent about saving money this year, and I appreciate that they kept under such a budget. But the fact that they went out either knowing or unknowing that they were doing something above and beyond the.
'Cause we just bought them- we just bought
That's
them a truck.
unfortunate.
We got them 2 trucks.
Right.
I'm just imagining.
I didn't get
customer
customer
service
service
would
with
look
it.
like, how much money we'd save if we shared with Rare. What's this?
So you know what,
May I just,
I just don't like how they did it, I don't think it was necessary, I think the point of it is that. it's been-
I don't think this was done out of any malice or maliciously.
No, there was no thought given to it, that's
Well-
not malice, that's just no thought.
I think what it comes down to is they had their budget was looking good. And Bill, I asked, Bill, I said, do they have this money? And he said yes. And I certainly that's one thing, but, I just wanna toss it out there that. Part of the report that was done, the study that was done for, I'll just look at Courthouse Square. When that's online, there was a report that said, you're gonna need additional police and you're gonna need additional emergency service. I think, just kind of looking at it from that perspective, if you have a situation in our town when unfortunately we've had fires, it's not uncommon, right? We've had some big ones here. You never know, the chief.
And yet nobody
will
put,
give in.
and nobody put an article in the newsletter about candle safety. Cause both our big fires this year were,
They did.
no, we need an article about candle safety.
But I don't think that's really the discussion. The discussion is not about staffing or anything like that.
No.
The discussion is that they went out and did something without even coming and saying, hey, this is what we need, this is what we need to do, et cetera, et cetera. Not that anybody's pushing back on it, but there is still a process. And I'm just not comfortable with that, at least just say, hey, this is what we're thinking. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
How many of their, purchases do they do themselves? And also, I don't know, I feel like they should.
Yes,
know
Bill.
that buying a car
Exactly.
probably triggers this, but.
Exactly.
Bill, how does the fire department work versus other departments? Do they put in purchase orders directly to you?
They do, correct, yeah. They submit their own stuff right in the, in the computer system. So they could do all of the work,
Admins, and they're very knowledgeable about watching their own money.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
and
with the fire department, like I said, the fire department is different, right? They're, would you say, Bill, they're their own thing, but they're not, like, some of the things we have to, repairs. We have to do this, right? We have to, get the bids. They can't, from what I understand, independently do that, but there's certain things that they can't, like, they're different than other departments, I guess, is what I'm trying
Can
to.
they just go to an auction and just say, okay, we're gonna go buy a car and not, and say we can do it? I'm just trying to understand if that's the
What's the
law.
answer to that, Bill?
I'm just trying to
They-
understand.
no, it's still the borough fund, so you still have to authorize. But they do have their own funds that they get from donations and stuff that we're not in control of. That's what they would be able to spend on their own. But anything related to borough funds, we would have to authorize.
But this car's not a part of that.
This car is a part of it.
Wait, of
Of
the donation money?
donations, Of the donation.
No,
money.
I'm sorry, of the borough funds.
Okay.
And the reason why they have money left over is because they're able to save, like Councilman Long said, on not having as much of repairs because they have 2 new vehicles basically this year, so they didn't have to spend as much on repairing the older vehicles.
They were responsible with their budget, and I appreciate that. But they know better that they should have come, and that's unfortunate. That doesn't mean that the deputy doesn't deserve this. I think Brian made a very good point about how they need to be ready with their equipment at home, so. I'm fine with this if somebody wants to make a motion.
So I don't hear anybody objecting to the purchase, just
It's the.
keep
The process.
The process.
Try to do better next time, please. type of
Look,
thing.
perhaps it was such an incredible deal that they simply could not wait, I don't know. I don't know what the going price of a 2015.
It was a fire sale. Okay.
That was actually good.
That was
That was actually good.
And Bill, you can certify the funds, right?
Correct, yes.
And, all right, so anybody else have any comments on this before I ask for a motion?
I guess I have a question for the council. We have a caveat that we go with this,
What are you gonna say, don't do it again?
I think there was, I've been hearing about it, we couldn't find anything, there's nothing available at the police department, we had nothing going through any rotations. And then it, my understanding is they said we have the funds.
I think the thing for me is, Jeremy, is that when they submit their budget, they really should give us, like, maybe really think about stuff like this.
Yeah.
If they haven't had a deputy car in a while and they were thinking that they might wanna go look for one, I think, it would have been good if they had just let us know and so that we were, right?
I agree, it's called planning, and that's what budgeting is all about, is you plan for what you're gonna do for the
Oh.
following year. So they use it, we're gonna, I mean, listen, I'm on board with you on this one. My issue again is, I don't have a problem with the car, my issue is what they went through. Listen, they got a truck, an additional truck out of the clear blue, and
Right.
we
And
all
it's funds that
said,
we built up.
absolutely, so we took money out of the capital to give that to them.
Right.
And so now you're coming back and saying, okay, well, listen, we're gonna just get a car. And we're not gonna say anything until we get the car, and now we're gonna say something.
And
See,
trust
that to me is
Trust me,
bull.
you know, you can open the email, I certainly did let the chief know that.
That's
That's gonna do
not
the,
cool at all.
we're gonna hear that from somebody, and yeah,
No,
and look, they are extraordinarily appreciative, you know,
well, that and a piece of bubble gum will get me in nowhere, right? So, I mean, that has nothing to do with anything, appreciate that has nothing to do. It was just, it's the point of it is, it's a little bit disrespectful as well. Because it's saying, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna ask for forgiveness later. That's what it sounds like. I'm just, I hear you.
I think they need to have a. When they sit down, whoever works on their budget together, or however they do their budget, they really need to think about what they need. That's gonna come back to the.
Starting
council.
now.
Yeah, like, you know, it's gonna come back to the council, it's beyond just
We're
like,
gonna have to.
they get a pot of money every year, Bill, right? Like, it's basically they ask for the same amount, cause it's
I think every.
paper, it's Scott Packs, it's this, it's that, right? I mean, we,
Yeah, but we.
there's
covered-
things in the capital budget for them, and then we give them a pot of money.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, in the operating account.
Correct.
X dollars in long-term spending capital that includes Scott Packs and some other stuff, and then they get a pot of money for their operating expenses from the borough.
Correct.
And they generally spend all of it, which is fine, because that's what we give it to them for, because they're a volunteer fire company that we cherish and value. But I think is that the take home message, Bill, as our CFO, that they, when they do their budget submittal, they should really be thinking about those other. Once in a
They
while.
should, yeah, and you know, it's really,
Yeah,
that's
Once in a while, positions like this.
something like that you would think would be like a capital planning thing. You know, that they should realize, okay, in 5 years, I'm gonna need another, you know, chief car, deputy car, whatever. Just so we have an idea of what's coming down the road.
So you know what I think this comes down to, and I said this earlier in the year. People don't know how to budget. They don't understand the budget process and how to budget and what you need to think about going down the road. So maybe this is a good learning thing here. And that is that maybe what they need to do is sit with you and say, okay, here's what the world looks like in 2026 and possibly 2027. So that they can back into a number, and here's the number, and back into the number, and then when we're scrutinizing the budget, we actually kind of say, okay, maybe we'll look at this for this year, but next year we're, you know, whatever, but it gives this entire council a view in what they need and what's happening over the next year or the next 2 years. Because that's basically how a budget is done anyway, so I just think that maybe they just don't know that process, and I think that's the negative.
but how about this, I'll use the word that we all know in local government, all right, and I'm stealing it from Bill, because he mentioned it in an email, transparency, that's what this is about at the end of the day, right? So if we all agree, departmentally, council, we all love transparency, I think that's a part of it. The budgeting process is that, and I wanted to, you know, in the name of transparency, bring all this up. Make sure we had a resolution, because that's exactly what I was supposed to do, we're not willy-nilly approving things without this kind of conversation, but I think you will have been heard. The concerns of the council, and that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, I mean, like I said, I don't think any of you objects,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I think
I
think,
totally understand.
Sergeant McNally was very articulate, explaining exactly what the difference is,
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yep.
And I think nobody has a problem with this
Yeah.
purchase, it's really about getting the fire department to really think about those once in a while acquisitions they need, whether they're capital or operating. And working with Bill to make sure that it's included in their budget so there's no surprises, for anybody, for them, for us, for anybody,
Agreed.
right, Bill?
Yes.
All right, in that case, can I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-141, the purchase of a vehicle for the deputy chief?
Bill Hart will move.
Is there a second?
Long second.
Is there any more discussion? Okay, we need the roll call, Councilman Arias.
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pissarro,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Councilman Long,
Yes,
President Parker.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention. All right, we have no work session. We have public comment session number 2. Anybody wishing to make a comment in public? Come up, 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I'll do
Is
it.
that a new?
I know.
Guys,
I saw, yeah,
I
I
see
missed that.
Selling these?
Oh,
can I see?
Are we selling these or? do we
You
buy
know
them?
Black Shed, the fabulous garden center?
Yeah, yeah.
That's in Flemington?
What's that?
Near the
No,
village.
no, but, and this was in the discount bin.
So I check it out and
No, not intentionally, but it's the softest,
great.
most fat, I think we're just gonna have to find something other than black shit to put on it.
It's so
but
great.
Yes, it's
you
wonderful.
mean black shipped out by
The fabulous
Great.
garden center, yes, that has
Great.
a full liquor license
That's
and
great.
food trucks and
So nice.
it's an oasis for serenity and beautiful things, and this was in they had a porch sale. And this was
Really?
there, yeah,
I love
so
that place.
I bought it.
Oh, it's really great. Okay, good.
Thank you. I guess everybody would like a black sweatshirt that says Flemington.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I love the font. I mean, there's like,
I would take it.
other than black tip, there's,
Yeah.
I love everything about that.
Yeah.
shit.
Does count
It's
against
not Comic Con either, right?
my fashion choice count against my time here?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, 8:47.
All right, really quickly, thank you for the compliment. I just wanted to say that we are officially the host of the Downtown New Jersey Conference, which has been said to be the premier downtown economic development event of the year. The annual New Jersey Downtown Conference hosts industry experts who provide insights into downtown management, best practices, as well as development, business, and retail market trends. Past conferences have been held in Montclair, Red Bank, New Brunswick, and Bloomfield. I've attended these conferences before.
When is it, Robin?
It is October 23rd, which
Monday.
is a Thursday. And it starts at 8 in the morning. The theme of our conference being hosted here is experiential downtowns, redefining place, space, and community. So Jeremy, you were like right on it with that Lyceum lecture that we had. The Arts and Cultural District is home base, so Stengel Factory will be where everybody comes in the morning. They start at 8 o'clock. Sorry, there's a registration, networking breakfast, there's welcoming and opening remarks. There is a keynote and we're just waiting to finalize that, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be David Dixon from Stantec, who was recently last week in New Orleans. He wrote the Katrina recovery plan. He is incredible. He is really like the father of modern downtown wisdom. And he helped us when we were awarded that. Great. Yes, he was great. He was great. He's a very wise, distinguished thinker, and I think having him come back after since 2019 to now, yes, you know, is an interesting arc in our history and kind of is a big change. And I don't know how many conferences we've hosted here. I think we've had some really great history events. I know we had the Lindbergh series last year, you know, but in terms of really being able to host conferences, we haven't really had space to do this. And I think what's also really significant about the opening of the plaza and having a gathering space on Main Street is also that the historic courthouses have also went through a very long, you know, we've been through a very long and painful renovation, repurposing, and necessary process to make our buildings usable. So it's a real big deal that we're having the Central Jersey Jazz Fest on the steps of the courthouse. it does require, and I'm really grateful to our police partners, particularly one is sitting across from me tonight, because, you know, I have been accused of trying to get people to do event planning with me. And sometimes it feels like like I'm trying to move the couch around the living room to decide where I really want to put things, but we are reinventing everything, you know. It's very challenging to pick up a corn and tomato and beer that fit easily on Stangle Road. Maybe bigger than we really wanted it to get, maybe not, and move it to Main Street, or, you know, to pick up the Central Jersey Jazz Festival and relocate it on the courthouse steps, and everything about the courthouse. is
To
kind
bring
of-
it back,
Be
bring
there.
it back to.
Yeah, we would walk
Yeah.
down and just, we wouldn't even reach
It's
our
so
a block
exciting.
away.
I mean, and you know, we, it's all new because the courthouse has new rigging and new joists for banners and lights and circuitry, and a lot of new. So I just want you to know, the theme of our conference is experiential downtowns, and we are going to make this conference experiential, which is what the executive director of Downtown New Jersey really wanted, because, you know, we all go to the Main Street America conferences and you walk around, you know, it's exhausting actually. But you really get a sense of the place and people show you their place. So there are two breakout tours in addition to a keynote. One is about economic vitality and placemaking, and there's a redevelopment and historic preservation lecture called and tour called Curating a Walkable Downtown, which will be really fun and interesting. And then there's another session about community engagement and partnerships, and it's about the Arts and Cultural District in Flemington and how we've put that together. People are very, very curious. I should make people guess what they're most curious. Open container. It's a economic development tool that we have successfully, no incidents, you know, no trouble, been able to bring, and now it just kind of works. Like if you came to the Sip and Stroll, which a lot of you were at, the last Thursday of the month, it was crazy. Like you walked, there was so much energy that it was like, you know, being in Morristown on a Friday night, you know, just a buzz and people talking and moving, and it's really fun. The tent sale this weekend was exactly the same. It was such high energy, really great sales, higher volume sales than usual. You know, like a person coming from somewhere and spending a lot of money is really a valuable shopping experience for us. So that was great. So things are happening and it's getting better. So the Central Jersey Jazz Fest starts at 5 o'clock. And that is because we really want our restaurants to get dinner business, and we do have a bar this year. This year we've got catering with our friends at Al Fresco, who have a catering establishment at the Lebanon Pub, and we've worked with Chuck and Stephanie for many, many years. So this is a better, I think, operation as opposed to us trying to, you know, me and my office trying to create a bar with a social permit. It's just too much work for us, and it takes us away from really where we need to be, which is giving remarks and being hospitable.
It starts at 5, and what time is it again? The Jazz Festival?
It ends at 9:50
9:50.
on the button.
So it's the last person comes on at 8 then, right?
8:20.
He's fine, okay.
Yes, so we have a first act. She's a Cuban percussionist. She's incredible. And then we have a second act, and she's called the Queen of the Violin, and she plays an electronic violin.
Amazing.
And she's exquisite. The music is exquisite.
She is amazing.
It's such an honor to give such good quality arts and culture in from a beautiful place.
It was really interesting the dynamics, because Montclair's Jazz Festival is the same,
I know.
which is really, really interesting, and if you've never been to that jazz festival, I mean, obviously, it doesn't always happen this way, but. It's an amazing event, and that's what I'm hoping that next year it will look like for Flemington. Yes.
So, and I just wanna let you know, the witch walk is on October 24th, so we have the conference on the 23rd. We've decided to incorporate the children's Halloween costume parade event into the witch walk.
So it'll be a Stangle.
Yes, so it's one night. We're not coming back all weekend to try to do things. I think that's gonna work
One
out.
painful night.
One fabulous night of magic and revelry. Yes. And we do have a concept. We thought we were gonna have a trunk or treat. We're not. We're going to have a costume catwalk where our businesses, Norma did such a great job with her fashion show that we thought that having a fashion show where the small businesses can show their how fun they are and how creative they are is a good idea, and we'll have.
I'm sorry, do you have time for all that? The
Yeah.
witch walk and the Halloween?
We're okay.
No, time?
Oh, time?
Yeah, what time?
I thought you were asking me if I have the time to do this.
No.
Which I do have to defend to people.
No,
In my
what
life.
time is the witch walk, what time is the Halloween parade? for
I
the kids?
think everything starts at like 6 o'clock and everything is over generally by like 9:50.
That's not too late for little ones?
Oh, they're gone, hopefully. Hopefully they're gone by like 8 o'clock, but you know, one thing that's really kind of charming about Flemington is that we try to have adult events and we can't do it because we are a town where everybody brings their family.
Right, yeah,
And
and the
dogs.
things, we go elsewhere, the elderly comes, no kids, we don't stay here for that stuff.
Well,
like,
we're gonna have things for you soon.
I don't think so.
I hope so.
Marlon's on Broad, you gotta get the max on Broad, it's all it hurts.
But we definitely have, it's very hard not to have like, you know, just a whole village of diverse ages and interests.
Can I just get back to the Halloween parade for
Sure.
kids?
Yes.
So that's gonna be at
The
6 o'clock,
The Halloween parade for the kids will start earlier.
but
It's at
at,
6.
but at 6? Or is it before the witch walk even starts?
No, it's close to 6 o'clock, cause we want people to be able, it's a Friday night, so they have to be able to get home from
And it's
school.
before daylight savings time, so it's already getting dark.
Yeah.
That's what's in my head.
So you're suggesting maybe we make it earlier?
Yeah, I just worry about the kids, yeah, and the darkness and.
We usually did it at 4:30.
Yeah.
And then you let them out on.
Yeah, and then the parents, and then, right, I mean, it just
So
seems
it's
like.
more the parents, isn't it, they're getting their kids there?
Yeah, that's it.
Getting out of work, getting.
Yeah.
It's also- it's a Friday night.
Well, that was Halloween night when we used to do it
Oh,
up
no,
on Main
Halloween
Street.
night makes sense, cause those chaps are
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But on something like this,
How did you do last year over at the courthouse?
We were on Sunday in the park.
And it was
During
like,
the
like,
day,
yeah,
with the
early,
day,
it was early, early afternoon.
yeah, that was also nice.
It was great. So, okay, and then we're moving into the holiday season with Santa, with some surprises and exciting things because Main Street will be more buttoned up and we'll have more space to use. I mean, no one's ever asked me how hard it is to do events on Main Street without a space to do them in, but it's hard, you know, like there isn't even a pitch for like a street performer to bust, like we have no space that's really accommodating for, we haven't had the space.
Even in front of the courthouse.
We have the county part too, I think the gazebo there.
But
is
that-
perfect.
That's
We're
fine,
we're
yeah.
about,
yeah, the sidewalk is huge.
it's okay.
Not too bad, yeah.
It's not the best. I mean, honestly, the level of traffic on Main Street is like, you know, I mean, I used to do events in Harvard Square and on Mass Ave in Cambridge, like, you know, but usually you get, and that is what I think people will say at our placemaking conference in downtown New Jersey, that you do need pocket parks. You need little spaces where you can just be a little bit step back from the elements to hear a spoken word.
Like the bookstores and things in Boston, like when you're going off like in the Italian section of Boston, there's so many like little like.
Fabulous.
there's
Garden.
But what we had at the library has a garden in front of it, the Presbyterian Church has a huge lawn, the Flemington Baptist Church has a huge front lawn. I mean, we
And the
don't have-
chamber, you use the chamber.
I'll be honest with you too, like,
There.
the county park used to be used by a lot of people back then, we used to have guitar nights on Thursday nights, I think. it was.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't do that anymore, I think that'd be a really good thing to get people to come out there as well.
We're probably like almost at the tipping point where the county park can work better again. It's just, you know, my job is to integrate, is to get people to see our businesses. And be really, sometimes we have to be really close to the
Even into
businesses.
the county park with great people, regardless, you know, great people that live in the streets right there, come out, and then people, I mean, people come out,
I
do a picnic, do picnics, stuff like that.
I love it.
I love the idea, but I've
River
been
Robinson.
and I know I'm an old lady now, right? Okay, so I know that, so, you know, at 52, lived here 13 years ago. I wanna see Main Street, wow. I wanna see people walking up and down Main Street. I was out there on Saturday, I wanna see that every single weekend.
Yep.
So
And
I
that's how we get there.
but I think.
Let's probably
both is
deal with
possible.
the park later.
I think both are
Oh,
possible.
yeah, no, sorry, I didn't wanna put all the pressure on you.
But it-
I think so.
But it's not
If you have
either
to-
or, it's both. I mean, we don't need to do this and this,
I'd be
it's
down
both.
to help.
It's everything.
But from an
And all
FCP
at once.
standpoint, from an FCP standpoint, FCP does need to focus on Stengel, the shops at Flemington and Main Street. That said, one of the things we are having as a discussion with the whole opening
Courthouse
of
Square.
Courthouse Square and reimagining is to do some of those things that you're talking about. So again, it's not one or the other, it's both. Because what a town really survives on is when people are moving throughout the town and not just one place. They need to move throughout the town.
I was in Harvard Square for 13 years, there's 2 hotels.
Yeah.
One is a fabulous boutique hotel called the Charles Hotel. And their courtyard is cooperatively used by everybody,
Yeah.
so the Taste of Cambridge. A welcome event, a Santa event, like you can't even believe, you know, that, but having a courtyard or having a place to, I mean, you know, Brian and we go through a lot to try to figure out where to put everything, including dumpsters, and, you know, we just aren't really set up for the infrastructure for the kind of events we're doing, and we're working probably harder.
And it's gonna take a minute.
But one thing I'd like to say is that I think it's so great that everybody, like the Lyceum fits so perfectly in the sip and stroll. The things you're doing in the park, you know, like everybody is the newsletter, you know, having our events seamlessly go into the newsletter. And I can give you more if you really want.
Kristen
But-
suggested, if we have any new businesses we wanna highlight.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it being in.
We can get you pictures
We're running out
and.
of space now, I know.
New
But
business,
that's such a wonderful thing to put in the newsletter, cause that honestly, of all the stories we produce, all the content we create, and it's a lot. The thing that really drives content is 2 things, new business and breakfast foods. I don't know why, but like that's really the things people get excited about.
Speaking of which, let me just give everybody this, I meant to say this in my report. I did run into the people at Millie Steiner. I ran into them, and this is what's going on. They're running into a couple of issues, but they're actually doing the work themselves.
You can see it, yeah.
They're doing the work themselves. I asked them, when do they anticipate their, you know, once the roof gets on? They said the rest of it is gonna be pretty easy, but what's really interesting, they're getting their, like, people that they know that are in that industry or whatever to help them out. So, young couple, and they are really trying to make this work. I could start seeing the progress.
Yeah.
And I think they basically work,
They work on the weekends.
yeah, I think it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, really nice couple. I spent like maybe 15 minutes talking to them. Their vision's still there. They're trying to drive it to open sometime in 2026. So that's,
And
so it's
you
a lot.
know, I used to get invited to speak to panels because the one thing that every New Jersey town has is a brownfields gas station on Main Street. Every New Jersey town has, and no one, it's very hard to get them to become anything else. There's like 3 examples of really successful repurposing, and people wanted to talk about ours because, you know, it's exciting that it will become something.
We just had, you know, batteries not included, just opened.
Yeah,
And
that was fun,
store.
fabulous.
Fabulous, we got Friday night, we've got
I think something
let's
coming
walk open on Friday,
to Print Tech.
that would be good, and
Yeah.
Seaberry's, I think, is waiting for their final fire inspection, then they can proceed out.
That's exciting.
So they hopefully
And
will be.
Deserve has been chef's kiss, like the problem is they need more help because they need someone to make the donuts pretty much.
Robin,
Sounds like a commercial.
I have a
I
question.
can't hold Dunkin' Donuts.
Robin, I have a question about the Downtown New Jersey conference.
Mhm.
How did we get chosen for that?
That's
a really, I mean, I think that's a feather in your cap.
I made myself known.
Congratulations, because that's really a great accomplishment.
It's kind of a coup because, you know, we're like, just a little bit, we're in this liminal space between, you know, what we've been and what we're going to be, and you can see it. I all day Saturday, there were people standing in front of the hotel, like, you know,
Yeah.
looking at it, families, like pointing, I mean, it is.
I saw Jack Tuss there too. I saw him looking at his own building.
It's something, so, you know, that and the courthouse, the accessibility of the courthouse is it's a sea change, you know, the use of the Doric House Museum as having galleries and having regular shows.
That's been, yeah, now that exhibit, if anybody hasn't seen it, the Historical Society is now doing a rotating exhibitions every few months. And the first one is coming down at the end of this month. It was extended. It's on 250 years of weddings, and it's got all kinds of stuff. But because of that exhibit being up and it was gonna close Labor Day weekend, somebody went through it and then they turned around and donated
Yeah, I saw that.
3 generations or 4 generations of
Yeah.
wedding gowns, including Queen Victoria wedding gowns. So like one of them is eggplant purple and another one is brown because Queen Victoria's one who created white wedding gowns. So the exhibit's been extended. It's open every Saturday from 1 to 4.
I'm thrilled to see that building open more often.
Absolutely, and so it was
We
extended.
need attractions.
It was
Yeah,
extended,
that's-
and then it's
yeah.
closing, it's closing for all of October and then it's gonna reopen in November with a new exhibit on 1935 Flemington Borough. So there's gonna be an exhibit room of what somebody renting out a room to reporters would have looked like with a 1935 phone and furniture and phone book and calendar and that, and then another room will have all kinds of Lindbergh things and documents that the archives of the Historic Society owns. So that's gonna be opening in conjunction with the Union Hotel project.
And
It'll be open for at least 3 months.
Robin, I wanna go back to, I still have another question,
Okay.
so go ahead and I don't wanna.
No, I
interrupt.
just want one to say, I'm also to planning commissions with the county, and one of them is related to the bike plan, which they got a big grant for. So there is a countywide bike plan, and one of the things that they're really excited about is the potential for this linear park along the rail trail. Bike stuff is so complicated, it's not like, you know, we're not gonna be able to figure that out, you really need bike experts, so the fact that the county has these bike experts, I think their public meeting is at the library on September 30th. But that, you know, if people are interested in bikes and bike planning, that would really be a good place to be. And then the Heritage, the Cultural and Heritage Commission's board, which I sit on, is also going to embark on an arts and culture study, history, arts and culture for the county. And how do we do more preservation? How do we get more arts and culture, how do we move things around and work together, it's really exciting. But those are things you have to plan.
And there's a
for.
walking tour, the Historic Society President, Janice Armstrong, who used to be on council and was our historian for a while in Summersboro. She's doing a walking tour for the Historic Society. I think there's a donation requested of downtown Flemington.
If you would send that to me, that would be
I will
good.
send that to you. I can't, the dates escaping my head, but I will send it to you.
So like our calendar through the end of the year is just, it's packed, and you know, as our trustee Tony Parker said, like, we really need to be planning next year. And you know, we need to try to get further ahead. Hopefully next year we won't have as many changes. But since I've been here, all we've had is change, you know, and we're in just this. It's just a real growth.
Can I ask you the dreaded question about where the signs are?
I was gonna ask the
Yes.
same question.
The
Just get ready to go there.
The county is, we're waiting for the county to say that they will help us because DPW.
Help us put them up?
Yeah.
Because they're so big.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we're going to start painting them, and our friends at
Shots at Flemington.
Shops at
give them that
Flemington
place, right?
are going to give us a
So when's the
space.
painting gonna start?
I think probably the next week.
Okay, can you just, you gotta keep us up to date on
I
that,
will.
because I would like to see that happening by Christmas to get those up.
They will
You
be,
know, I mean, definitely.
they'll
by
be up
Thanksgiving.
before.
So who do we need to help you with for the county to get a
I
commitment
think
to get
right
this done?
now, it's with the right people.
Okay,
I
but who do we
might
need
ask,
to nudge?
Um,
It could be with the right people, but who do we need to nudge to say we need an answer?
I think they're feeling pretty nudged about it
Okay.
because,
So, all right, here's what I need.
yes.
I think this is for all of our benefits. Here's what I need. I need you to to let us know by the end of next week.
Okay,
Who, like, yes, there is absolute we've got the commitment, and if you don't have the commitment, who do we need to talk to? Because then
I'm fine with that.
I can ask, the mayor and myself can go, we can go knock on the door and kind of push this.
Yes.
Please, because
So are
they
you,
gotta get.
is this both physical labor and using their equipment, their lifts and whatever?
What do you mean physical labor?
Like their public works department, their buildings and grounds.
Or is it just
equipment?
the
If
equipment?
Or is it borrowing their-
we need a we need a bucket
Alright,
truck,
it's a
so
bucket
if you
truck.
don't
That-
know.
That's the biggie,
Yeah,
is
it-
using
you
the.
guys were taking the signs down, watching.
So is our
taking the signs down.
DPW gonna do the physical labor and we're just borrowing their truck?
That's what I
They're
was
gonna work
under.
together.
That's the plan?
Yeah,
Let me ask another question. Can I ask a question real quick?
sure,
The bucket truck.
yeah,
So. If they're dragging their feet on it, can't we just go out and rent a bucket
we
truck?
can. But we had talked about working together, they have the equipment, it's easier, some of our signs are like on the highway. You know what I mean, it would be helpful to have more
I'm
police,
okay with
more
all
help.
that, but I just wanted to get moving, so if
The
they're,
one
I
by
mean,
Adrian's
either
house,
we're
her
gonna
husband
rent it
can
or
help us.
they're gonna help us. But
Yeah.
we need to get this done by
We
November.
will, yes, that,
October.
just, the first step is. We have to get them painted, then we have to get the vinyl, we have to get them
All of that is fine.
printed, and then we hang them, so by the time,
Fine. I just wanna make sure that we
Yep.
have the truck, it's dedicated.
yes.
The painting you said is gonna start next week, so how long is that gonna take to get them painted and get the vinyl on?
I think the whole thing, like with my son getting married, is,
Please.
no, I have to leave, I really do, I can't be here for this,
Okay,
thank
I
you.
just asked you for-
No, I think that it could take 3 to 4 weeks, that's like from, from,
One, then
yeah.
that's how
There-
you
we have 30 signs, they weigh a
I-
lot,
Okay, so so let's just say it's gonna be October first.
that's what I'm.
It's gonna start, okay, so
No,
October.
no, I think that we should have the signs mounted by the end of October. That's hands down,
Okay,
I don't think it's gonna be longer than that,
okay.
cause at
please-
this point,
Please do
and
us all a favor, if it's not gonna happen,
I will let you know.
we don't wanna have
If
to
I
ask you
need help,
again.
I will let you know.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So on the next meeting on October, you need to keep us up to date on our next meeting, the first meeting in October or whatever,
We'll
this
do.
is where we are.
Okay,
Robin,
Can do.
can you wrap it up?
I'm done.
Thank you.
I still have a
Oh,
question.
shoot.
Downtown New Jersey conference.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's not quite the same, but has some echoes of the Opportunity Zone Summit that we had back in 2019. In fact, I think David was there.
David wasn't there, but we had 125.
Yeah, he was
Interested
involved
developers.
around that time,
Yeah.
right? My point is I'm assuming that I recently learned that the opportunity zones are going to be permanent and even more beneficial than they are now financially.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's gonna be discussed at that time.
yes.
Okay,
I think that we've talked to Mark at Economic Development about doing another economic development summit to entice people to be interested in some of the properties we have and some of the buildings that really need work.
so I'm assuming some of the similar types of people that we invited for the Opportunity Zone Summit will be invited to this event.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And finally, this weekend with all the jazz festival,
Yeah.
this weekend with all the jazz festival, all the music, there's also Friday night at Stangle is Steve Forbert,
Yes.
Romeo's tune.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
If the jazz isn't your thing, 1970s folk music might be, that's pretty cool.
We got a
We
lot
got a
of
pretty
good
famous
stuff going
musician
on.
coming into town on Friday.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah,
Thank
David
you.
get hired up here.
Congratulations.
So that's.
Robin, when is the wedding, Robin?
September 20th.
Can't wait till it's over. Good luck.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else in the public?
Good luck next week,
Thank
or
you.
this week,
Anybody else in the public?
No, I got time.
Come on.
I
Two.
mean, yeah.
Can I have a motion to authorize the payment of bills in the amount of $2,676,615.24? Is there a second?
Marco second.
Yeah, hang on a sec. That's why I'm gonna roll call. Councilman Arias?
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pissarro? Yes. Councilman Levitt?
Yes.
Councilman Long?
Yes.
Council President Parker?
Yes.
Thank you. We don't have an executive session. We have a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
There's a second.
Second.
Okay.
Aye.